Hey y'all, I am Mandy. Welcome to my channel, Chasing Pixie Dust. Thanks for being on this ride with me as we journey to Run Disney's Wine and Dine weekend of 2023, where I will be doing all three races. That's the 5K, 10K, and half marathon. Because I thought it would be fun.
It was once said that a goal without a plan is just a wish. At 40 years old, I ran my first half marathon at Run Disney's Princess Weekend 2023 after only running for just over a year. I realized my journey wasn't over and decided to take on Wine and Dine Weekend 2023, running the 5K, 10K, and half marathon over the course of just 3 days. Now I have a goal and I have a plan, so follow along while I am out here just chasing pixie dust.
All right, so let's get down to it. Let's talk about this. So I first started running like a year and a half ago. I never considered myself to be a person who was athletic when I was younger. Actually, a huge chunk of you are probably here because you follow me on Instagram. And so I have a page there, Hip Shrinker is what I go by. And I started that when I started my weight loss journey. So a few years ago, I joined Weight Watchers to lose some weight. Total down, I'm like about 60 pounds from where I first started. I just needed to get healthier. I found I couldn't walk upstairs without struggling. I couldn't walk around amusement parks with my kids. I just needed to be healthier. So I decided to lose weight. Well, a little bit into that, I figured losing weight's great, but I really want to be healthy. Part of that is exercise. So I joined Orange Theory Fitness and started working out there. Very little time on the treadmill. That's one thing I liked about it, was it was not all running. So from there, I was a power walker. So basically what that meant was I was walking just at inclines. So I wasn't jogging, I wasn't running. Probably right before COVID hit, I decided that I wanted to try to jog. So I started getting a little bit faster, and then of course the world shut down. But luckily I had a dog at home, and so we would go on really long walks and jogs during that time. Anyway, fast forward about a year and a half ago, a friend of mine who I met through Orange Theory asked me to do a 5K with her on Thanksgiving. There were dozens of things I would rather do than run Thanksgiving morning, but I did, and I actually didn't hate it. I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I love goals. I love to have something I'm working towards. So I decided for 2022, I was going to run 12 5K races that year. Really shooting for one a month, but my goal was 12. So other than the month that I got sick with the dreaded vid, I did that. I actually did more than that, total, more than the 12. So I was really excited about that. Well, somewhere in the course of 2022, right after their 22 Princess Weekend at Run Disney, a good friend of mine who was a coworker, she came up to me and was like, what would you think about doing the half marathon next year at Princess Weekend? And I just immediately laughed at her. I remember sitting at my desk in my office and she asked me that. And I laughed at her because I ran 5Ks. That's 3.1 miles. A half marathon is 13.1. That's 10 whole miles more. I was like, no. But then I was like, why not? And if I'm going to run a half marathon, I'm going to run through Disney and I'm going to run through the castle. That sounds actually the best way to do it. So I went right back into her office and said, okay, cool, let's do it. So we spent almost the next year getting ready for that. I did a 10K training from the summer into the fall, and then from the fall into the race weekend, I followed a half marathon training plan. And we did it. And it was an experience that's hard to describe. I loved so many parts of it. I still struggled quite a bit with the half part. That was a beast. it's way more than 13.1 because you're like bobbing and weaving, and you're going through people, and then you have to walk at some points because of bottlenecks. At other points, you just want to walk because you're so tired. Yes, you do run through the castle though. That's amazing. Probably the best part. And then having her there was great. So we did it. Okay, cool. Check. Done. And I was like, well, now what? I got the bug. Got the Disney bug. Definitely wanted to do that. So I figured, you know what's next? Let's just do the challenge. Like, let's do a challenge for Disney is typically where they do more than one race. And so for Wine and Dine Weekend and Princess Weekend, the challenge is a 10K on Saturday and half on Sunday. So I thought, let's do that. Then, because I can't not go all the way, I said, let's do 5K with it. Let's throw that in there. So luckily I got registered. Registration is its own beast. I'm telling you, if you've never done this, it's insane. And so I got registered, and it's just me. My friend can't go, and I don't have any other friends. I know I'm going to make friends. I've got some friends I've met on social media that'll be there, just some people, but I'm doing it alone. And I'm really excited. I'm really scared, and I'm really nervous. I'm all the emotions. So I figured, why not document it? I want to remember what it's like, the good, the bad, the ugly. So that's where we're at. So this is where the page came, the channel. And so anyway, I figure I'm going to share a lot about this. I'm going to share the good, the bad, the tears. There will be tears. I know. I'm a crier. Sorry, you know. And other things like, what's it look like to fuel? I'm on Weight Watchers. What does that look like being on Weight Watchers, but also fueling my body to make sure I can run, because that looks a little bit different than a normal Weight Watcher person. And, you know, race gear. What do I like? What do I do? Just all of it. Put it all here. And, you know, even if no one else is here watching it, I'll be able to look back on it and see what I did. So that's what it's doing. That's why we're doing it. That's why it's here. I'm excited. Chasing Pixie Dust, the name actually was just evolved from some different things some friends tried to help me come up with. And I liked the idea of, you know, it's not a wish because, like I say, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So this is more than that because I have a plan. I'll be following Jeff Galloway's training plan for the challenge. And, you know, but Chasing Pixie Dust just sounded kind of fitting for what I'm about to be doing. Because I think, you know, even though there's a plan, I want you little pixie dust to get through this. So we'll see how it goes. And, you know, there's always a chance that the weekend comes around and something happens. I've seen all kinds of people struggle with completing them. So I'm just going to take you there, and we'll see. And hopefully I'll walk away with 4 medals. So 1 for the 5, 1 for the 10, 1 for the half, and then the challenge. So I'm hoping that that's where this ends. We shall see. Anyway, my goal is to post every week what like my training looks like and some other elements that go into it. So hopefully that's what's going to be happening. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I will continue to post there as well, but this will be primarily where this belongs. So anyway, I'm so glad you're here, and hopefully this will all work out the way that I hope it does. We'll see.